David Jones has been sold to an Australian private equity firm for about $100 million. Joining me now is business reporter Edward Boyd. Ed, Anchorage Capital has bought the 184-year-old retailer. You might say it sounds expensive, but boy, it's a lot cheaper than it was not long ago.
Yeah, Anchorage Capital Partners bought David Jones for about $100 million. However, the price that Woolworths Holdings, which is a South African company which purchased David Jones back in 2014, they paid $2.1 billion for the retailer. So it's been a turbulent 8 years of ownership of David Jones by the South African retailer Woolworths Holdings. Admittedly, the business today is a bit different to what it was back then. So over that time period, Woolworths South Africa have actually sold off David Jones's Elizabeth Street store, which was one of their flagship assets. So that gave them about $510 million boost for their revenue sheet. But also the David Jones group that they purchased back then included Country Road, and Country Road is not going to be part of this sale. So Woolworths Holdings will hold on to Country Road. So the deal announced overnight will be the sale of the David Jones brand, the 43 David Jones stores across both Australia and New Zealand, and 2 fulfilment centres as well. And also not included in this deal is the other major asset that David Jones owns, which is the Bourke Street store in Melbourne. So that's expected to be sold off at a later date this year for roughly, expectation is about $250 million, and then it will be leased back to the new owner of David Jones, Anchorage Capital Partners, who will hold their flagship store in that Bourke Street residence. So it was a big deal announced overnight, and basically means David Jones is back in Australian hands. So Anchorage Capital Partners, it's an Australian company based here. They're a private equity firm, and usually what happens is they will spruce the company up a bit and then potentially sell it in the next few years or so.